What's happening, folks? Matthew Bellman, Ryan Kostrowski here. This is the DFS 5-pack. Thumbs up, always appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new to the network. We are going to be running through DFS fast and furious this month because we are double sporting it, which feels really good after no sporting it for way too long.
It does feel really good. It's weird, basketball and baseball overlapping like this, like every day on a consistent basis. The grind is real for us because especially with NBA starting early, we really need to get that stuff out earlier. So we're loving it.
That's right, guys. NBA members only video is done. The write-up is posted. Go do yourself a favor. Go grab yourself a day pass or sign up for a membership, and you can get today's. Let's go out and dominate this bad boy, guys. Don't forget to get your overlay money in as well. They lowered the overall price contest for the progressive jackpot, the one with the $19,000 if you go perfect 12-0. Get in there and try to win yourself $19,000 because you can go out and get yourself a car, pay off some student loan debt, pay off some credit card bills, do whatever you need to do, baby.
Yeah, I know. I'm in that today. The jackpot got me, so I'm in it, and I'm hoping to win it.
I hope you win it, too, because I'm pretty sure you would send me some money to go buy some supersized McDonald's or something.
I might do something like that.
Maybe even buy, the whole meal.
Maybe.
Probably. All right, guys. So, again, 2 sports for the price of 1. You sign up for a monthly, annual, or lifetime membership. You're getting both sports right now. The same goes for day passes. MLB seems steadfast on considering the season, so I'm pretty confident we're going to keep this thing rolling. The NBA video is out. Day passes are up. Subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Thumbs up. Let's move into what we're going to talk about today. You want to talk about your boy Frankie Montas, so I'll let you rip.
Yeah, so Draftkings did a really, I will say good job, did a job of pricing hitters up big time on this slate. So expensive hitters everywhere. There are a couple really expensive pitching options. But if you want to roster any semblance of bats, you can't roster 2 really expensive pitchers. Montas makes a lot of sense here. He's way too cheap. We've talked a lot about picking on Seattle. We think Seattle is better than the public makes them out to be. And I still believe that. I don't really want to go out of my way to pick on Seattle.
But they're not the Yankees.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, they're still not good. Montas is better than them. I talked to you a bunch about Montas. I don't know, maybe it was after made the first video, whenever it was, about how he really seemed to, put it together even after being suspended, and his stuff got better. He worked on a lot of things that he needed to improve. And while he hasn't been dominant to start the year, he showed signs. In that first game, he had a little control issues, but other than that, he was pretty dominant with his K upside. And I expect a similar performance tonight. Your first point is the point that really matters also. If you want expensive bats, as I mentioned, you need a cheaper pitcher. And at 7,200, he's just cheaper than he should be.
Rock and roll. You guys here. I know you've been watching his start, so we'll just leave it at that. Next up, one of your first choices at bats. You talked about there being expensive bats on this slate. One of the guys that is, I heard the Yankees announcers talking about this when I was watching the game the other day, that if anybody in baseball could hit 400 in this shortened season, that this guy's top play would be DJ LeMahieu because he's just such an excellent hitter. I have no arguments with it. I'm not going to bet on him hitting 400, not saying somebody else couldn't do it, but I mean, he is right up there for me for one of the more underrated hitters in all of baseball. And he's 4,100 today. And I think a big important thing is he's hitting right in front of the hottest hitter in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you got to like that. He's way too cheap. Talked about the expensive hitters. He is not one of them. Way, way, way too cheap.
Absolutely. And he's, again, I don't know if you all know this. This might be breaking news, but the Yankees offense, it's good. In fact, I'd say it's really, really good, and he just gets a better opportunity for RBIs and runs.
It's freaking good.
All right, next up. So let's talk about arguably the best hitter in baseball to start the season, and that's Donovan Solano of the San Francisco Giants. Nobody has been as hard on the Giants the last couple seasons than I have. But I got to say, I like how they're playing this year. They're playing free and loose. They got a bunch of no-names out there, and this Solano kid helped me win my contest on Saturday with a couple of RBI singles. Right now, I didn't go back to look it up, but I'm pretty confident he has more RBIs than Yelich, Trout, and Bellinger combined. He's in Coors Field tonight. He's 5K. He gets to face Chichi Gonzalez, which is, let's just call him No-No Gonzalez because he's not good. He's on fire, dual eligibility. I want to get your thoughts on this one. You think people will pay 5K for him today?
I think that smiley face next to Chi-Chi really says it all. I mean, that's my face right now talking about him. I hope people don't go here because I love the Giants tonight. Love. They've definitely won me money in this spot before. In Coors being expensive without big names people don't want to pay for. I love this call. I mean, Chi-Chi is not good. bad spot all around. I love the Giants here. We'll get into it more on members only, but I'm glad you brought someone up from San Fran.
And he is raking to start the year. I mean, hitting everything, left field, right field, center field, not a ton of power or anything like that, but he is right now the straw that's stirring the drink down there in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, your boy Matt Kemp, speaking of Coors Field.
So hot is hot, right? You just talked about it earlier with Aaron Judge, and while Matt Kemp isn't on that sort of level right now, he's got home runs in back-to-back games. I would expect him to be right in the lineup again because he's hot. He's been a nice part of this lineup, even the game before he started. So on Friday night, he had a really big pinch hit double for Colorado. He's got nice success against Cueto. Another very affordable bat. They stand out because there aren't too many of them. Kind of makes sense at 3,800, man, if he's in the middle of this Colorado lineup, don't you think?
Look, and like I'm joking around. Clearly, he didn't actually invent a time machine during quarantine, but right now he looks like the Matt Kemp that a lot of people believe should have an MVP award next to his name. Now, again, will that stick up for a while? I don't know. But at 3,800, I'm willing to take that bet tonight.
Same.
Next up, so if you like my first play of the day, I know you'll get on board with the second one because this is your guy, and that's Nelson Cruz of the Minnesota Twins. Potentially maybe get a little bit overlooked right now because the Twins coming off of a really rough weekend offensively, also because Coors Field is in play tonight. This guy provides monster upside at only 4,500. I mean, if you're going to bet on somebody to hit 2 home runs in a night, it's like Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Nelson Cruz, like all the same names. He is right up there. This guy's been mashing left-handed pitching since, I don't know, what it seems like the late 90s at this point right now. He's always been able to hit left-handed pitching very successfully. He's got 3 career bombs off Holland because they had some time over in the AL West together. He hits lefties very, very well. And the Minnesota offense is elite. It's like that one step below potentially the Yankees and the Dodgers, but they are right there. They're coming off of a really rough weekend against your Cleveland Indians, who have an excellent pitching staff. Beaver was dominant. They had to go up against Carrasco. They had to go up against Mike Clevenger, who wasn't himself, but is still really, really good. Remember last Monday when everybody was looking at the Royals, and one of your big points was they're probably happy as hell to get away from the Cleveland Indians pitching staff. Look for the same thing today with Minnesota, and Cruz is way too cheap at 4,500.
Yeah, I obviously love that point. Yeah, I guess for me, it's hard to even think about that because the Indians just lost 3 or 4 there. So it's like, from an Indians
But the Twins didn't score at all, right? It's just because
Right.
the Indians' offense was doing nothing. That's why I started my ADA Saturday night at like 2% ownership, just because the Indians' offense doesn't look like the Indians' offense.
They're last in the league in runs scored. Like, they look awful. So, yeah, I love that point about Cruz here. You got to assume that, like, Minnesota is going to come in a little bit under-owned here with other offenses just in more attractive spots, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and coming off of a little bit of a rough weekend offensively, right? That they're not fresh in people's minds the way like the Yankees are equally as affordable, if I remember correctly. And you got Coors Field in play, which I think you can get a lot of the Twins guys at a much lower price. And while Derek Holland is not trash, he's firmly in that very mediocre pitcher, right? Like he's had a longer career because he can eat up innings, but he is nothing but as mediocre as they come. And on a bad day, he can hit real hard, especially by a guy who hits left-handed pitching with the career success that Nelson Cruz does.
100%.
So, guys, that's what we got for today. That's baseball. We'll hit you up with some overlay and some members only a little bit. Day passes and monthly memberships are up on the website. Have yourself a great Monday, and we'll see you in a bit.
Thanks, guys.